Welcome back to my channel. Today you guys have been asking me about my makeup look, about my hair for the last couple of weeks, and I finally created a video showing you guys step by step how I create my new favorite summer makeup look and the summer hair. Takes no time, no damage on your hair. This whole hair will last me 4 days and I don't have to touch it. It's so simple, so fast, so easy, and I've had so many of you guys ask me, what have you done to your hair? Like, how do you do your hair like that? And it's just French braids and it's so easy. So I show you guys how I kind of create this out of my French braids, and you guys will see that at the end of the video. So for those of you that are not interested, maybe you're interested in the hair and maybe not the makeup, or the makeup and not the hair, I will leave timestamps in the description box down below so you guys can skip ahead. So that's it. That's what we're doing today. So without further ado, let's jump right into the video. Okay, so let's get started with this. This has been my go-to easy peasy summer look. So I'm gonna first start with my primer just because I need my primer. This is the Bobbi Brown Vitamin Enriched Face Base. If you guys didn't already know, it is definitely my go-to primer. And I like it because it keeps me hydrated, but it doesn't make me greasy. So there are a lot of hydrated primers out there that kind of give you like a greasy feeling, and this definitely doesn't. Now, I've had another breakout here and something is breaking me out. I don't know what it is, but I haven't done anything new except for foundation. It comes with the territory of having adult acne, you know? You just never know when you're gonna get a crazy spot. If I'm gonna be really active, then normally I will pick a foundation that will hold up in the heat, you know, or hold up it'll hold up during the day where I need it. But I'm not doing a whole lot that day, and maybe I'm just running errands and I'm kind of in and out of AC and stuff. I will just choose a nice foundation that I feel like will give me the coverage, but give me kind of just a natural look. If I was gonna go out into the heat and the sun, I'd probably put on the Dior Airbrush foundation. That one is one of my favorite foundations for the summer. It is like budge proof, waterproof. Like, I will use that on special occasions, on those days where I need my foundation to hold up, but it's very skin-like. I'm just gonna be kind of out and about and I still want my skin to be nice and healthy. I'll use the Lancome Skin Feels Good. This has been my like ride or die for a year. Like, this is a foundation that I have not stopped using. There's been foundations that I've loved and been kind of pushed to the side for other foundations that have taken its place, but this one has just been my like ride or die. Another one that I really, really love on those days where I just want a nice, just natural, like no makeup type deal. Like if you're gonna go out on the lake, if you're gonna go out to the beach, you want coverage, but you want protection. This is a phenomenal CC cream, one of my favorites. In fact, I used a ton of this during the springtime, but they only have 5 shades. This is the shade 4, shade 5. It's not that dark. It's not going to cover a lot of skin tones, which is definitely a bummer, but this one can look a little greasy if you don't put some powder over top of it. I love this. This is a nice CC cream. I'm gonna go in with my Lancome Skin Feels Good. I'm just gonna apply this. It's so hydrating and so healthy looking on the skin. Like, it is such a good foundation. Now, I would say that I get about a medium coverage out of this. Now, I do want to add a little bit of coverage right around here. So when I want to add a little bit of coverage, sometimes I'll take my stick foundation from Hourglass and I'll just kind of do a few stripes in those areas where I need a little bit more coverage, but I don't like this foundation all on its own. It's definitely not my favorite foundation. It's kind of one of those foundations that kind of dries down to like a powdery finish, but it's not like a good powdery finish for me. Like I've never been able to make this foundation work on its own. Now next up for concealer, as you guys know, I have been kind of pulling away from like the really light under eye. So I've been trying to find concealers closer to my skin tone, maybe like a 2 shades lighter. My ride or die Tarte Creaseless Concealer. This has been one of my favorite concealers since the day I tried it. Now, this is not for everyone, and this is for somebody who has a drier under eye and wants really good coverage, but you want it to stay hydrated. I feel like it's everything that the Tarte Shape Tape is, but it's on a hydrating side. This one kind of gets a bad rap, and you know, it doesn't get the best reviews, but I think it's because people there's some people out there that don't like that hydrated under eye, and this one is hydrated. Now, when I put it on, I blend it out with my finger and I let it set for about, I don't know, 5 to 10 minutes. And as it sets, it's not as shiny as it is when you first apply it. So it does take a minute for the shininess to kind of go down. It's obviously not creaseless, but it gives the illusion of a creaseless look. So I finally got my right shade. I haven't used it for a while because the other 2 shades that I had were a little bit too light. So I finally bought 34G, which is a medium golden, and I think that this one is going to be the perfect match. Now, the other thing with this is you don't want to use too much. So if you go in too heavy with this, it will be thick and heavy throughout the day. So what I like to do, like I do on all my concealers, is I like to wipe off the applicator inside here, and then I kind of just put on a little bit. That looks like it's a lot, but it's really not. I've wiped off the applicator, but I like to drag my concealers down into this part. I love this concealer. It is so hydrating, and it's just like, but once it sets, it's set. Like, I don't feel like it moves around on me, you know? Like, I just feel like this concealer gets such a bad rap, but it's so good. It's such a good concealer. It doesn't get the attention that it deserves, to be honest with you. This literally erases my wrinkles like no other concealer I have in my collection. Now that I have the right shade, I'm just like falling back in love with this because this just completely removes my wrinkles. It, like, the way that it blends into the under eye is magic. But again, it's not for everyone, and those people who don't like it, it's because they don't really like that hydrated up an under eye. But if you apply it right, and you apply just a little bit, and you know, blend it with your finger, and then once it kind of sets down, you can go in with your finger and kind of lift and pick up any extra product that might be sitting inside those. But it is such a good concealer, you guys. Like, I cannot say enough great things about it. Like, it is my tried and true concealer that I absolutely love. All right, moving on to my brows. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take my 24-hour brow setter from Benefit, and I like to run this through all of my brows and kind of make sure that every hair is nice and coated. So I kind of let that set for a minute and kind of let it dry a tad, and then I go in and kind of like basically place the brow hairs where I want them. I really love the MAC brow, I can't remember what it's called, but it's like a brow marker. It's really good. I like the markers. Some people don't like them, but for me, I've had really great luck with markers. And I was using the brow blade, but the problem with the brow blade from Urban Decay is the shades. The shades are like really dark. I have to wear the lightest shade in that range because it's just way too dark for me. Glossier just released a new product called the Brow Flick, and I actually am really impressed with this so far. I'm going to continue to use them. I have the shade Blonde and brown, and I think there's only 3 shades, but I like the marker on this because the marker is really, really, really teeny, and I kind of like having both shades because I'll use the blonde where I want just a little bit of like a little bit of definition, but not like a lot of color there. And then I'll go in where I have this more sparse areas and fill in with the brown. Just kind of go in and start creating little teeny hairs. And I just kind of fill it in as needed, and you don't have to press that hard. You're just making these little basically flicking motions. But this has been a really, really good marker so far. So I've been kind of impressed. I just wish I had more shades. So now I'm going to move on to like bronzers, like contour and all that. So I think I'm going to use my Charlotte Tilbury. I haven't used this for a minute. So update on my channel. So I'm going to be going out of town on vacation the week of 4th of July. So my mother and her husband have a houseboat. They own a houseboat with 12 other owners, and we go to a place called Lake Powell, and it's so beautiful. It kind of has that like whole red rock, kind of looks like a Grand Canyon type of deal is the best way to describe it. It's kind of down there in that area. It's half of the lake, it's huge though. Half of the lake is in Utah and half of it is in Arizona. We go every year. One year we'll go during the 4th of July week, and then the other year we will go on in August. So this year is actually the 4th of July week. So this year my son is taking a bunch of teenagers. Last year he took quite a few teenagers. This year he's even taken more because this is kind of his like, you know, graduation celebration deal, and so he has quite a few teenagers going. I think the last I counted, or last I heard anyway, I think we have about 16 teenagers going. God bless my mother for having the patience to deal with that many teenagers, because that's a lot. My point to all this is, number one, my hyperpigmentation is really getting bad this year. As soon as I get out in the sun, man, it just... So number one, I was thinking about vlogging the entire trip. I've never vlogged before. My daughter said that she would help me because I really don't know what I'm doing. And I was thinking about vlogging it. I think you guys would really enjoy seeing that beautiful lake and just seeing the beauty of it. So I thought about vlogging it, and then I also will not have service for the entire week I'm there. So the only people that have service while they're there are those who have Verizon for a cell phone carrier. Well, mine is T-Mobile, and we don't have the best service. So normally I will not have service for the entire time I'm there. I got a little bit too carried away with my bronzer. Damn it. By the way, I'm using the Natasha Denona Bronze and Glow palette. But anyway, I'm going to be gone that entire week of the 4th of July. I will have content going up on my channel. I just won't be able to respond to any comments because I won't have service. I will let you guys know my last video, like, you know, during this video, I won't be able to respond to comments, but I just don't want you guys thinking that I'm ignoring you if you don't hear from me. But I'm curious, don't worry, I will tone all of this down. But I'm curious how you guys would feel about a vlog. Would you guys like me to vlog my trip? Because I think it would be fun to have the vlog just even for memories, you know? So let me know if that's something you guys are interested in. I'm going to be doing a lot of pre-filming, by the way. I'm using the Hourglass Incandescent Electra. This has just been my favorite blush lately. I love this blush so much. And every time I wear it, I get compliments on it. It's just such a I know it's expensive and it's really stupid ridiculous, but I love it. And I thought, you know what? I've already paid it. I did get it during the Sephora spring sale. So now that I have it, I use it because I do love it. But anyway, the other thing that I wanted to run by you guys is I would love to hear what content you guys want to see, because I need some video ideas only because I'm going to be doing a bunch of pre-filming. So if you guys have any ideas or any requests of any videos, let me know in the comments down below because I need all the help I can get. Now I'm applying my Hourglass translucent setting powder and just kind of going over everything. So yeah, let me know if, you know, if there's a specific thing that you guys want to see. I just really need to start kind of mapping out what content I will have go up while I'm gone. So if you guys could help me out, I would sure appreciate it. Next up, I'm going to spray. There's not a lot of things that I like from Morphe. I'm just going to be completely honest with you. Morphe's not my favorite brand, but I love that setting spray. I love the aerosol mist. Then I'm going to go in with my ambient lighting palette. I love this palette. Oh my gosh. Sometimes I get a little bit too carried away with this palette, but I love it. It just kind of gives you that nice glow from within. Like you can tell there's a glow, but you don't know what it is. Oh, this palette is so good. I'm gonna add my highlighter. Now I've been really still loving the one from Dior. This one is really nice, but oh my gosh, I love this shade Cookie right here. So this is the Cheerleaders Mini Bronze Squad palette. Oh my gosh. I am absolutely obsessed with that shade Cookie. So I'm just gonna apply a little bit right here. Look how pretty that is. Oh my gosh. What I like about this what I like about this shade is that there's sometimes these shades will kind of turn me gray just because of my medium skin tone, but this one doesn't. It just makes my skin like glossy. The key to this eyeshadow look is this. This is something that I talked about recently on my channel. This is from Charlotte Tilbury. Recently, I compared these two. This is the Tom Ford, this is the Aqua Metal shadows in the shade Violet Argente, and this one is a Rose Gold, and I compared these two. I like this one, don't get me wrong, but I really, really love the one from Charlotte Tilbury. So this is the Eyes to Mesmerize, and it's a cream formula. I think you guys have probably heard me talk about this quite often lately, but this is something that I cannot stop putting on my eyes. I just love how easy it is, how beautiful it looks, and it's overall just a beautiful, beautiful product. And I've just been pairing it with the KKW Beauty Classic palette because this is one of my favorite palettes. You don't have to use this palette with this. I just recommend any shade that you have in your collection, any of your palettes. I use this shade. I do kind of brighten and kind of set my entire eye with this shade. And I also use this shade. What I do want to do is just take a brush and go into this light shade right here. I'm just going to place this over my concealer and just kind of get it nice and smooth down. I'm going to take this brush from the Sonia G Pro set. This is the Worker Pro. And I go in and grab just like this much. It doesn't take very much. And I just kind of go in and start placing this on my eyelid. I'm gonna go into this like just this normal brown shade right there, and you know, like I said, you don't need the KKW Beauty palette to create something similar to this. You just need a nice neutral tone, you know, just a nice transition shade that builds good and looks good in the crease, kind of more on the natural side. Doesn't really have a lot of undertones. This is definitely a nice like neutral undertone brown shade. I'm going to go into this like purplish gray shade, and I am going to kind of just deepen up my crease a little bit with that shade, kind of bring out some of the purple tone in the Rose Gold. Go into this shade right here, and it's kind of like a maroonish with some like purpley eggplant undertone. And it's a nice maroon shade because it does have that purple undertone. And I'm just going to kind of pop this out here on this outer corner and kind of deepen this up a little bit and bring a little bit of that into this crease area right here. Again, it's just very simple, you guys. Like, it doesn't take hardly any effort. And I'm going to bring that on the lower lash line. Add dimension where you need dimension. It's just so easy, you guys. Like, it is seriously the easiest eyeshadow look ever. I'm gonna grab just a tad bit more of that Rose Gold. Then I'm gonna grab the highlighter that I used on my face to put in my inner corner. So I'm gonna grab that shade Cookie. I'm gonna wet it down. I'm just gonna take my brush and go over my wet makeup wipe and really make that pop. I will bring a little bit of that shade right here in this area. I love popping some of that Cookie right here in this portion. It just opens that eye up so much. And then I just take a brown eyeliner. This one is the Marc Jacobs eyeliner. And I'm gonna go up here on the upper waterline. I'm gonna go ahead and throw some mascara on, and I will be right back. Okay, so for lips, I sometimes kind of go back and forth. Normally I put on my any lip liner from KKW Beauty because they're my favorite. This one is lip liner nude number 1.25. So I'm going to go ahead and put this on. Actually, I'm going to put on 2.5. Sometimes I've just been throwing on the NARS Orgasm, which I really like this lipstick. It does kind of have that rose gold, peachy, pinky type of undertone. The other one I've been really loving is the NARS Lip Pigment. It's a Power Matte. It's a matte formula, and it's in the shade Get It On. This one has been really, really pretty. Perfect for this eyeshadow look. And it does have kind of like that rose, it does have like a nice brown rose gold undertone to it. And let me swatch the Orgasm for you so you guys can see what that one looks like. So that one is the Orgasm, and again, both of those go really good with this. And then I've also been throwing on this from Becca. This is in the shade Yours Truly. I believe this is the Malika collaboration, like the Chloe and Malika. I think this was Malika's, but that's what Yours Truly looks like, and it's so beautiful. So either one of these shades totally go with what I have on. I think I'm just gonna put on Yours Truly. All right, so let's move on to the hair. So this, I washed my hair last night and I braided it. Now, first things first, I am not the best French braider on myself. I can do a pretty good job on other people, but myself, it takes a minute. So this is how I did it. And you guys can see I have my extensions in. So I braid it down one side, okay? And then I braid it down this side. Now, again, I don't do the best job, but for this look, I don't need it to be the best. I just need it to kind of have that curl is what I'm looking for. I have worn the I-tip extensions for probably like 11, maybe even 12 years. I was thinking about it the other day, and I think we're getting close to 12 years. I've worn them for a really, really long time. I not only do it for length, but I do it for the thickness. I do like my hair to be thick, and whenever I curl my hair, having the extensions in, my hair just holds a curl much better. I don't like to French braid on like towel dried hair because for me it takes too long for it to dry. So I will, go ahead and put in my root, like I have like a product that I use to kind of lift my roots, like a root mousse, any root mousse, you guys. I place that on the roots and kind of rub it in, and then I blow dry my hair where it's halfway dry. I don't want it damp, but I do not want it dry. So I kind of want it in the middle. I always have a water bottle sitting next to me. My natural hair starts to dry out just a little bit quicker than the rest of my hair. I will wet it down just to kind of make sure that it's not soaked, but it's not dry. I don't have oily hair. I don't have oily skin. I don't have an oily scalp. So I can wash my hair about every 4 days. And when I've been doing this, I do not have to mess with my hair for the entire 4 days. And I love it so much. It is so easy for the summer, you guys. It doesn't matter what I'm doing. Having that natural kind of beachy wave. Key to this is having some sort of a styling cream. Now I've had several samples of this and I actually really like this, but I just got this in my FabFitFun box. This is the Living Proof Nourishing Styling Cream. I think they also had this in like a BoxyCharm or a BoxyLux. I didn't get the BoxyLux this time because I'm just not really impressed anymore, but I really like the styling cream. So have a styling cream in hand. And I also love this stuff. Now this is the light. I'm going to link everything in the description box down below, but this is from Big Sexy Hair. This is the powder play in the light. You do not, for me, I can't handle the regular. I have to have the word light, because if I don't, it's too thick. So this is a root powder, and I'll show you how I use it in just a minute. Also, what I really like to kind of make everything shiny is this is super affordable too. This is the Ava NYC, and this is the Main Magic 10-in-1 primer. It has argan oil and sunflower seed oil, and I just kind of spray it once I'm done. So this is a really nice one to have. The other thing that I like for my roots is this Living Proof Amp 2. So it's a styling cream, but you kind of put a little bit in between your fingers, kind of rub it in your roots, and it will give you a lift. This stuff is bomb. I love this stuff. I've been using it for a really long time, and I cannot go without this. Next up, I have this. Now, this is not like a necessity, but sometimes if I feel like my hair needs a little bit more texture, I will add this. This is from Scruples. This is a texture spray. It's a sea salt spray gel. I switched it to this bottle because I like the way this squirts better than the bottle that it came in. So that's the reason why I use this. I have my hairspray, which is my Kenra, and I just have this dry shampoo on hand, and I don't know where I got it. I think I got it in like a box somewhere. But I'm not super picky with dry shampoos, but I do not like the one from Living Proof. So I do use these little tiny elastics, these clear elastics. I recommend the clear elastics because if I use like just like a regular black tie, you will see a ring around it, and I don't like the ring around my ends. So I like to use these clear little elastic bands. They just work so much better. So then I just take out the braids. This is so easy, you guys. It's seriously the easiest hairstyle ever. And yes, it can get a little bit poofy, and you do have to kind of work with it, which is the reason why I have like the styling cream and stuff. So it looks crazy when you first take it out, but it all comes together. And the more that I French braid my own hair, like I was having my daughter braid it and my daughter's, or my son's girlfriend braid it, but the more I've been doing it myself, I've just gotten better with doing it. It just takes a minute to practice, but you'll eventually get it. So then you're left with this, and you're like, oh my gosh, what do I do with this? Because this looks just really frizzy and a little bit crazy, right? First thing I do is I take my powder play in the light version, and it has a little pump on it, and I take and put a little bit of this powder in my roots. You don't need a lot of this, and if you get too much, it can kind of feel dirty. So don't use very much, but just do it in the places where you need the lift the most. I'm almost out of it. I gotta put some in the back. Okay, so then I kind of rub that through my hair. And that will give me the lift that I need. And I'm just kind of doing this. I'm not like scratching my scalp with my nails. I'm just rubbing it over my scalp with my fingertips, okay? So now I look like just a big old bush ball, but it'll come together, I promise. Next up, I'm going to take a tiny bit of this. This is that Amp 2. Again, I will have it linked in the description box. So I place some in my fingers, and then I just kind of start rubbing that through my scalp. And especially right here in the front and right here on the back, like right there on the crown, because I want that volume, okay? The volume is key, and getting it before, I know it looks crazy, it'll come together. We're gonna take some of the styling cream. Now this is when this kind of all comes together and it kind of tames it and it doesn't look so bushy, because right now I'm having like I'm having a moment. So I take about this much of the styling cream and I just start kind of running it through my hair. The styling cream is what tames everything down, kind of creates separation within the curls, and it just, like, the styling cream is key, you guys. And I just start kind of molding my hair, basically. I just start kind of using the curl to kind of start kind of creating the part that it wants to create. And it's so easy, you guys. And it eventually kind of calms down and it's not so poofy. So then I'm going to take this mane and spray stuff. And this is the shine. Hold it away from your head though, because it can be way too much. So be very careful with this because it is very shiny. It works really good, but it can get too much. If you're not careful and you spray it too close, it will get way too much. So I am going to add just a little bit of texture right through here. This texture sea salt spray. And it's like a spray gel. But what this will do, it will define this curl even more to where it kind of just gives it some shape. then I take my hairspray. And the hairspray kind of just sets everything into place. See how it still looks a little frizzy right through here? I will take this amp right here, and I will take about this much and I run it through my fingers, and then I'll kind of like use that to just kind of tame these front pieces, kind of mold them and place them where I want. See how it kind of just made them not look so frizzy? So this is what the ends look like. Look like I'm using a lot of product, but everything that I just used will last me for the entire days that I wear this. Sometimes the only thing that I will do is put a little bit of dry shampoo in those roots like the next day or like 2 days later. The reason why I like to wear my hair like this during the summer is because like it's almost like giving my hair a break from all that styling, you know, the blow drying and the curling iron and just constantly straightening it or curling it or whatever the case is, because even though I only wash my hair every 4 days, I'm only blow drying my hair every 4 days, I still have to run a curling iron through my hair at least every day when I wear my hair curled. So wearing my hair like this as much as I can during the summer, because it is kind of that summery look. So sometimes while I'm doing this, I will use like a deep conditioner or like a really good deep conditioning treatment, because it's almost like I'm repairing my hair while I'm not damaging it. So I take advantage of this time to try to build my hair back. Briogeo has a really good hair mask that I really, really like. There's several of them that really work good. So once I get it braided, I will spray a little bit of the hairspray down each side of the braid just to keep it from fraying in the middle of the night when I'm sleeping and kind of, you know, tossing and turning or whatever. I put this in at midnight last night. I started with hair that was halfway dry and still had a dampness to it but wasn't dry, and now it's 10 o'clock in the morning, so it literally takes overnight for this curl to set in. I went ahead and threw on this NARS Orgasm over top because once I put on this peachy shirt, I needed a peachy lip. Like I needed something with a little bit of peach to kind of pull it all together. Yeah, so this is it. This is my easy everyday summer look. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Thank you guys again for all the love that you guys show me and this channel. It means the world to me. Don't forget to let me know in the comments what videos you guys want to see, because I'm going to be doing a lot of pre-recording. So I would love to hear from you all. You guys always have such great ideas and I really appreciate it. So I hope you guys have a wonderful day and I will see you guys in my next video. Love you. Bye.